This is a Hydraulic International booster pump. This is designed to go from a minimum inlet pressure of 500 psi to a maximum of 3600 psi, and that is all controlled by a pilot valve. What we're looking at here is a control panel. The control panel can essentially be divided into two sections. The left side is the air drive section, and the right side is the pump drive section. Now let's talk about the air drive section first. The air drive that drives this pump is connected here. The connection for this air drive can either be air, it can be a nitrogen source, it can come from an electric air compressor, a diesel-powered air compressor, it can come from a liquid nitrogen tank, or it can come from another high-pressure source. The inlet pressure should be around 100 to 110 psi, and the flow rate for the air should be a minimum of 15 cubic feet per minute. Typically 70 to 80 cubic feet a minute is what the pump will typically draw. The way this works is once the air is connected, you should see a zero pressure on the gauge above. This is the regulator for that air drive pressure, and it has a push to lock control. You pull it out so it can be turned and push it in to lock it so it cannot be accidentally turned while it's being operated. So the way it would work once it's connected is that you would begin to turn in a clockwise position to engage the regulator, and you'll watch the pressure gauge for the air drive pressure move upwards. It will move up and approach 100 psi. When it approaches 100, you're done. Lock it into place. So once that's done, you're pretty much set for your air drive pressure part of the pump. This handle down here is essentially the on and off. So it basically is a ball valve that is currently in the off position. This would be the on position. When we start out, we're going to start with it in the off position. Now let's go over the pump itself. Once the cylinder is opened in the back, you will now have pressure coming into the pump system. To find out how much pressure, we'll open up the inlet valve. As you open the inlet valve, you will see the pressure and what's in the trailer coming up on this gauge here. With that in place, the pressure is now coming through here, and there are two channels of distribution through the pump. There is a gas flow going through the pump, and there is also a bypass built into the pump that circumvents the pressure. So when the pressure in the trailer is higher than the target you are filling, gas will fill purely on the pressure transfer basis around the pump. It has a check valve in it, and the bypass can run at the same time if need be. Typically what you will do is open the inlet valve. You'll see the pressure come up on the inlet pressure gauge. Once you're connected into the target source, you will open up the outlet valve right here, and you will hear gas starting to stream across. Again, it's going to be streaming through two sources, through the bypass and through the pump itself. There's a pressure differential between the trailer and your target view. So once this is open, you'll see this gauge come up to speed. This is going to tell you what your outlet pressure is going into whatever you're filling. It needs to equalize or come pretty close to equalizing. You can go ahead and open this valve right here, which will now start to engage the pump. You will now begin to hear the pump rock back and forth. Once it's pumping, you will hear gas flowing through the bypass until the pressure is equalized. When the pressure is equalized, the bypass check valve will close, and now you are filling purely through the pump itself. With each stroke, you'll watch the pressure continue to build, and when you reach your desired pressure, you can turn it off by simply turning the air drive off. Those pilot valves are set for 3600 psi. When the outlet pressure approaches 3600 psi, it will shut down automatically, the air drive pressure thereby stopping the pump altogether, so there is no possibility of overpressurizing with this type of configuration. We do also have a pilot valve that is set for a minimum of 500 psi, so when the inlet pressure reaches 500 psi, it will also turn itself off. Afterward, you will close the outlet valve. And now you will disconnect. Your filling done, you will go on to the next fill. So the next fill, you will connect it to the next trailer, or whatever you're going to fill, open up the outlet valve. Cascading will occur around the pump through the bypass and through the pump. When you are ready to turn on the pump and have boosting action take place, you will then turn the pump on here. You should monitor the air pressure periodically. It will be bouncing around as the pump operates, and so long as it's about 900 to 110 psi, in that range, that's fine, but don't try to chase it with the pressure regulator. Typically, once you set the regulator, you are good to go. When you are completely done filling, everything will be in the off position, and you will want to vent the pressure that is in the pump. Here is the vent valve for the pressure that is in the pump, and this will also vent what is in the hose as well. You will simply turn this and it will vent out the top. When you are done venting, this pressure will come down to 0, and your outlet will also come down to 0. And you're done. Close it off, and now you're in a closed position for this pump. This pump does have a cycle counter. Cycles on these pumps are good for typically 20 million cycles before rebuilds. We recommend rebuilding the pump once a year. Rebuilding the pump is pretty easy. The actual booster pump is down here, and there is a very inexpensive replacement kit for that pump. You can get that through us or through Hydraulics International. It probably takes about a day to rebuild the pump, so put it back together and have it installed, and you're back ready to go.